We are going to El Trafico. That is the LAFC versus Los Angeles. What is it? LA Galaxy game. Clearly, I don't know a ton about soccer, but husband has season tickets to LAFC games, and that has gotten me into soccer a little bit. I'm just curious that for most men who watch it, are they conscious about why they like it? So I'm going to ask men today at the game, why do you like sports? Why do you like watching sports?
Well, it's like live theater. You don't know what's going to happen, unscripted. I don't know, like what the other alternative of like not going to like live sporting events is. I don't know, like
Theme parks?
sure, but there's not a lot of interaction on theme park. Now I think about it.
See?
Now I think about it. It's other ways.
What specifically about sports adds that extra level of excitement for you?
Probably playing when you're a kid. Like I played sports. I had teammates. Maybe it's connection to the game. I don't know. Like when I go to like a theater show, I don't really like connect with the actors or actresses or whoever. Like I'm not like I remember what it was like to like memorize my lines. But I know like the players, like I remember putting in hours of work when nobody was watching and
So do you see yourself in the players?
probably there you go. Came around to it. But if I was the other side, I would be like, oh yeah, if I was in like an actor, I'd be like, oh yeah.
So you admire the players' preparation because you know what it takes.
Of course.
So you get it. That's why you get
There's a
excited
more
for them.
intimate like knowledge of that where like I wasn't in theater. But the one thing I like is like unscripted. That's what I like about it.
Why do you like watching sports?
Why do I like watching? I love sport because of how it makes me feel. It makes me feel a lot. You know, it's like a very strong emotion. And that's what I kind of tap into with sports. It goes into like the highest high and the fucking lowest low. You know what I mean?
You're passionate.
Yeah. So
Why do you like watching sports?
Because I grew up a sports fan. All sports, soccer, basketball, football. I like watching it because it gives you something to do.
I mean, there's like a lot of different hobbies you could do, right?
I say sports because it's a lot more exciting. The memorable moment that you create for yourself. With friends, family, when you start to start your own family, this is something for you and your family can do to create memories. Like, hey, if I ever take my son, when I have a son, to a game, he's going to remember me and dad went to a game.
Why do you like watching sports?
Because sports is human drama. It's the same thing that like people like when they watch reality TV or any other kind of thing where they're watching other people competing against each other. So there's something more natural to it. It's watching something where people are competing against each other and it's very natural and I'm very drunk and I cannot do this.
Why do you like watching sports?
Because it's a great time. You know, you get to come out here with your friends, family, have a good time, and just, forget about whatever's going on and just enjoy a great game. You don't know the outcome, what's necessarily going to happen, so it's just the thrill of the game itself.
Why do you like watching sports?
I grew up playing soccer, so
So what's the feeling you get when you come to watch sports?
well, when I come watch sports, it's like the
excitement.
the excitement, and then I lose my voice. And you can tell. I was yelling.
No Galaxy, no Galaxy. Hey, my name is Jose, number 1 in West Covina.
We're always yelling, like wanting to play, like the feeling of us wanting to play, being there. That's what it is.
The excitement and kind of like supporting the players. You kind of see yourself in them. Yeah.
It's lying.
Soccer is like a Hispanic sport mostly, so we can relate to it.
Why do you like watching sports?
Oh, wow. That's a broad question.
Have you ever thought about it?
No, so I grew up playing sports. I like watching sports because it's a good way to bring everyone together and, watch a game. That's one. And then obviously the entertainment factor, whether it's following certain players, following certain stories.
What do you think about guys who didn't grow up playing it, but they're really into it? What do you think draws them to watch sports?
I don't know. I don't really know, but there's a lot of obviously factors that go into that. There's cultural factors, whether it's their family was into sports, maybe they didn't grow up playing sports necessarily, but they grew up watching and rooting for sports. There's certain teams, depending on what city you're in, like a city pride type thing.
Do you think it's like a sense of belonging?
Yeah, I think that too. Like, everybody else is doing it, so like, even though you don't necessarily play the sport, you end up watching it because you're with your friends who like the sport, so it could be that too.
Because a lot of things can like bring people together and be fun. So what do you think is the difference with sports that draws men more so than like watching plays or theater?
Right. Yeah, I think sports is simple. Plays or like other forms of art like have multiple layers to them, and sports you don't really have to know what's going on. It's high flying entertainment, more accessible than I think plays are too, because like you have to go buy a ticket, go to you can't watch a play on TV. It's not really the same. And then sports you can just have it on the background too. You don't have to be like super into it the whole time. You can get up, go out, take a break, come back, and you're not really missing much. More passive. It's more of a passive watch than some other forms of art and entertainment.
Awesome answer. It's easy and simple. Ladies, take note. I must admit, I have a new appreciation and respect for sports fans after talking to the men tonight. The men were very self-aware and they gave great answers. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. It helps me a lot. And for everyone who participated in my interviews today, thanks for being a good sport.